Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Feenstra Zoo. Today we are joined by the lovely Chelaynne, my wife. Go ahead and say hi, babe.
Hello.
Today we're just going to do a impromptu conversation, mostly due to unpreparedness on my side with all sorts of sickness and things running through the household here, so I'm a bit unprepared, but I guess you didn't need to know that, but now you do anyway. Today we're going to talk a bit about something we do every February. It's our 31-day challenge, so it does run into March a little bit. But it's just a fantastic way to reconnect with your spouse and kind of a fun way just to, I don't know, say thanks every day and just appreciate each other a little bit more. So without too much spoilers, we're just going to jump into it. So this is a book we picked up from Jeff and Alyssa Bethke. I guess two books we picked up because they're one for him and one for her.
Yeah.
It's a book called 31 Creative Ways to Love and Encourage Her, or Love and Encourage Him. And it's a lot of fun. Do you remember where we found these books at?
I'm pretty sure that I just saw them through following on Instagram and that kind of stuff when they came out. I think about 3-4 years ago now. Something like that.
Something like that. We've been doing it once a year since then.
We missed last year.
COVID, I tell you.
We just missed last year. But yes.
So, we've been doing it a few years. Do you have a favorite day that we do? Kind of give an example of something that you look forward to when we do it?
Well, I have a least favorite day, but I do not have a most favorite day.
Is your least favorite day my favorite day?
Yes, it is.
So that's the men's book, day 24. It's cheesy pickup line day.
Now, we're talking they encourage, the guy to, because the girls have one too. Every once in a while, just send, a text with a cheesy pickup line or leave a cheesy pickup line note. You guys, I get a text every 10 minutes all day. I get to the point where I just need to leave my phone and walk away because it just becomes annoying.
It's like, hey babe, your hand looks heavy. Can I hold it for you?
Can you hear my eye roll? Can you hear it?
All day. It is my favorite day of the month.
Yeah.
I also like, for the ladies' side, there's I think it's like get him his favorite treat or something like that. I like that day too.
His favorite treat one or the Candygram one?
Ooh, also both.
Okay. I didn't know if you were getting them confused, because normally I do a full out Candygram, and this year I just did a week with a treat with cheesy lines with it, instead of a whole Candygram on the poster board kind of thing.
Yeah. So this year we kind of played our challenges a little fast and loose. We were able to tweak them because, like I said, we've been doing this for a few years and we don't want to just do the same old thing.
Exactly, right? You're like, oh, I've done that for a few years now. I should do something in a variation of that.
Yeah. So, like I said, playing a little fast and loose. There's one of my challenge days is to build a fort.
Yes.
The first year I went all out. I built a full blanket fort in the living room. Moved one of my little TV screens in there.
Yeah.
We played video games and it's fantastic. This year, our worlds are a little bit different. Our timing and everything was a little bit off this year. So I didn't build a fort, but it kind of lined up with your date night, create a date night. So instead of building a full out fort, we kind of just did a date night in our bed, played Dr. Mario, which I get my butt kicked every time we play it. Don't play Dr. Mario when you're in a bad mood, by the way. That's a different topic, but we'll come back to that. So we set up, and instead of building a fort, we did just good intentional time out of our normal routine, and we had a date night in bed, And it was good. It's kind of like a fort. No one else is allowed in, so it's kind of the same thing.
Right. And when you're talking like middle of the week, create a date night, right? You need something that, yes, is off the cuff and out of routine, but at the same time, like a couple tournament style or whatever of Dr. Mario is usually enough to be like, thank you for that intentional time. Because usually you get into that bad, especially midweek routine of just being like, all right, night.
Yep. Your day was long, my day was long. I love you. Good night.
Right? Exactly.
Welcome to Mondays.
So, right, you tell that's how we're feeling right now. But that's like the key for it, though, is I always find that and usually each year it's different, which is why I don't necessarily have a favorite. But it seems like certain ones just line up on those days where you're like, I have to do what? And it takes 3 minutes. It's not that big of a deal. And it changes your whole perspective.
Yeah. Which I'm pretty sure is kind of the point of it.
That's 100% the point of it.
But, I mean, these are a lot of the fun things that are in this challenge. But there's other really, really good, like, reconnecting ones as well. Mm-hmm. So there's the explore your history, explore your story.
Yes.
Where, you carve out a half hour in your evening to sit down and just explore all the things you've done together as a couple. So we go through the past 9 years of, where did we come from? What have been some of the high points of it for you? What was hard in our relationship? What challenges have we faced and overcome together? And it's really, really good connecting pieces. Yeah. And I really like it's the beginning of your challenges and the end of mine, where it's, finding scripture for each other, find a verse to pray over each other for that day. Yes. Like stuff like that, which you don't consciously think of all the time.
Exactly.
I was just looking at one here because I'm flipping through my book as we talk here. It's the future note one, where you're supposed to write a letter to your spouse and give it to someone to mail back to you at a random time in the future. Yeah. It's not something I would ever think of doing without this book. So you write a letter, I gave it to someone, and they will choose when or if they're going to mail it back.
There you go.
Because, mail has a tendency to get lost in people's houses, so, that's always a possibility. But they just pick a random date, and they're going to mail it, and it's going to show up randomly here for Chelaynne. And it's...
For the record, I haven't ever gotten any of these before yet.
I know. That's why I gave it to someone different this time. The past 3 times we've done it, it's never come back.
Yep.
So we'll see if this one does. But I gave it to someone different this year, so I'm expecting it to come back.
That's fair. I like that. But it's the whole point of it is just creating those little things that, you might be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal to like pick up his favorite treat or to pick up his favorite drink or whatever. But it usually happens to be on those days where they come home and they're like, oh, I really just needed that. Like that connecting point and that pick me up truly out of just like love and appreciation from your spouse really is huge in a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before that your love languages, you've got a couple main ones that you have, but this book is just a lot of different ways to affirm each other. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of those love languages that kind of, especially in long-term relationships, marriages, whatever, kind of gets forgotten. words of affirmation is so good.
Yeah.
And from the guy's perspective, I'm sure it's similar from a girl's perspective, but like when you come home from work, and not even on a bad day, but just come home from work and you get a note that says, "This is why I love you." It doesn't matter if you've had the worst day ever, that can turn your whole day around.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, a list of 5 reasons why you're awesome. 5, like whatever it is, like just really simple, easy things that take 3 minutes out of your day to create.
Yep.
That changed my whole day.
Right, exactly. And it doesn't take more than a couple moments of effort to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like some of these challenges are a date night. So, I mean, it's a couple hours. But most of them are, 3 minutes to read the page and 3 minutes to create whatever love note or whatever simple thing it is.
Yep.
And it's just so incredibly good. So I know it was a shorter one today, but that is where we're going to wrap it up. For this book, I do think it's a fantastic tool for your relationship. It's a fantastic way to reconnect with your partner, and it's super easy and enjoyable to do. So I'm going to leave the link for it to Jeff and Alyssa's webpage in the show notes. Absolutely go check it out. And from us here at the Feenstra Zoo, God bless. Have a great week.